Hi, my name is Jake, and I'm a former camp counselor at Camp Gray Catholic Camp and Retreat Center in Reedsburg, Wisconsin. I was able to work there for 13 months, and during that time, I spent 14 weeks as a head counselor for a Catholic sleepaway camp. And during those 14 sessions, I was a head counselor for the 4th and 5th grade boys. I wanted to make a video showing you what I would carry in my camp counselor bag. And the things that I needed to be successful, to be the best counselor I could be, as kind of an everyday carry, things you should always have on you. And hopefully this will give you some ideas if you're going to be a sleepaway camp counselor. So I'll start off with the bag. This is a single shoulder strap bag. It's definitely on the smaller side. It's only 9 or 10 liters. This is the smallest bag of any head counselor that I worked with. So this kind of represents a bare minimum of what you should have on you to be an effective counselor. First off, water bottles. Camp counselors love reusable water bottles. I wouldn't recommend this one because this one is a little heavy. It also, you can't see how much water is inside, and it's on the smaller side. I would recommend something like this. This one's good because you can see how much water is inside, and because it has 2 lids, because you can drink from the smaller lid, and if your camp counselor, your camper forgets their water bottle or needs a sip, you can give them a sip out of here, and that way you won't share as many germs. Sure, you could have them fountain drink it, but some of the younger campers aren't really good at fountain drinking yet. A lot of camp counselors like the Nalgene's. These are also good, but they're a little too big for my little bag here. And also, everyone at my camp had Nalgene's, so it'd be confusing to figure out whose is what. If you do that, definitely put some sort of friendship bracelet on the side there so you can differentiate which one is yours so it doesn't disappear into the woods. So first thing, most important thing, have a water bottle. In this bag, there's a little sneaky side compartment pocket here. And in this pocket, I would keep schedules. These would be papers that my camp would give me that told me where me and my camp were set to be at times. I was constantly referring to these to know what's going on. Also in this pocket, I would keep we had a mini staff manual that would go in there. I would also keep a copy of my camper's health information, and I would take notes, anything that my campers had going on. I had to be aware of, like maybe they were going to get picked up early or had something going on in the family or had a concern or an issue I had to be aware of. I'd write that down, keep it in this pocket, so it's always super easily accessible, and all those papers would just get shoved in this little pocket here. And that was a good place to keep those things. In the big pocket, I had a bunch of things. First off, flashlight, super useful, especially if you're trying to set up activities once the kids are in sleep and in bed, or if you have to use the bathroom, if it's not attached to your cabin at night. This will help you see where you're going. You could also rock a headlamp if you're more of a headlamp gang kind of person, but I preferred the handheld flashlights. Also in here, I would usually keep sunscreen. Not if it was a cloudy day, but if it was a hot day, I would keep some sunscreen on me. Don't get the big bottles, get the small bottles, because the small bottles can fit in your bag nice and easy. I keep a big bottle in my cabin and a small bottle in my bag. Second thing, bug spray. This is huge. It's gonna save your life. Don't let your campers know that you have this, because they're going to start whining that they need to use your bug spray, and they're going to complain about bugs, and they're going to use all your bug spray, and you'll have no bug spray left. So make sure your campers don't know you have bug spray, because they will take all of it. Another thing, we have a glasses case. Pro tip, if you need sunglasses and eyeglasses, you can keep them both if you get a big enough glasses case. I think they can both tuck nice and neatly in there, so it saves you a little room. As long as they're durable for your sunglasses, you should be good to go there. Next thing, notebook. Take notes on all sorts of things. You might want to play a game, might want to keep score for something. I used to journal my prayers a lot, so anytime I go to pray on break, I would write down my prayers if I had anything I wanted to remember or keep track of. This is good for taking notes during staff training, planning your devotions or anything you want to share with the kids, planning your activities or games, writing notes to your co-counselors. Just having paper on you at all times is critical, and I would keep a pen in the wire here. Next thing, I keep a Bible. This is just a New Testament, but I would usually keep a whole Bible. We were at a church camp, so obviously having the Word of God on you was at all times never a bad thing. You could definitely get away with not having this if you keep one at your cabin or keep one at the chapel, but I find it easier to have one on me at all times. And the last thing in the big pocket is this little sleeve. I guess it's like a laptop sleeve, but a laptop wouldn't fit there. I would keep a PPE. PPE is short for personal protective equipment. So basically what this is Band-Aids and alcohol wipes, gauze pads, etc. The good thing about keeping it there was it was kind of separated from everything else in the big pocket. So if my kid starts bleeding, I gotta get it real quick. I know right where to go. PPE, pulled out, ready to go, rocking and rolling. So that's everything I got in the big pocket. Now for the medium pocket. First thing, I would keep a Ziploc bag with tissues. At camp with all the allergens and pollen, you're going to be blowing your nose a lot, so I would often, almost always, keep tissues there, whether for my campers or for me, and these could really turn a bad day around really quickly, especially if you're further away from the main camp and you can't really run to the office to grab some tissues. That's crucial. I would keep keys. Camp will probably give you keys maybe for to get the medicine or for the pond shed or the archery shed or the cabins or the dining hall, the office, whatever keys your camp would give you. I would keep these. Well, my car keys, my own personal keys would go in my cabin, but any keys to anywhere on camp would go in my bag out there. You can either get like a carabiner or a lanyard or a keychain, whatever works for you. I would keep a rosary, because you're a Catholic camp, you might stop to pray the rosary at spontaneous times. I recommend keeping your rosary in a little earbud case, because that keeps it nice and protected, and it's not going to get tangled or anything else in your bag. Furthermore, Sharpies. These have a million uses at camp. Never be at camp without one, or you'll be sorry. I would also keep some extra pens and a pencil in case the one in my notepad got lost or broke or a camper needed to write something. Always keep some extra pens and pencils in there. And now for the smaller bag, the smallest pocket. First thing, just for me, nasal decongestant. This is specific because my nose gets clogged up sometimes at camp, especially with the pollen, so that was critical. Hand sanitizer, super important. If you're digging around in the dirt or whatever, you don't have time to go to the bathroom, wash your hands. This will save you, especially if you're going to be cooking out hot dogs or anything. Hand sanitizers, critical. A lighter. This is a Bic Mini, but any lighter will do. This is good for starting fires. It's also good for burning the end if you're going to finish off some rosary string. This will tie the end together nice and neat. But just keep one just in case. Eye drops, again, pollen allergies not good for me, so that would be always in a bag. And then chapstick, you gotta be careful because this will melt if it's a hot day. It'll kind of get mushy and gross, but also a good thing to have. And then the final thing is a tiny pocket knife. Some camps don't allow these, but I kept a very little one. My camp was cool with it, and this is good for cutting friendship bracelet string, or if we had a bag of hot dogs or hot dog buns, this will open it up really easy. If you want to whittle away at a stick while you're hanging around, that's also a good tool for doing that. Few other things. Some councils preferred the cream sunscreen. I would recommend the spray sunscreen because you can put it on quicker, put it on easier, and that means you're spending less time putting on sunscreen and more time being a good counselor to your kids. I would also occasionally, for certain activities, carry a Bluetooth speaker. This is great for playing music. I would use my phone usually, but if your camp doesn't allow you to have your phone in front of campers, you could get an old iPod Nano and use this with the Bluetooth speaker. It's good for waking your kids up. If you want to have a dodgeball fight, having music on in the background or playing the Star Wars theme or anything else could be a lot of fun and really make the week even better for your campers. Other things, I would always have a do-rag, usually on my head at all times. I'm not a big hat guy, so having head covering, especially in the heat, is really key. Bonus points if it matches your outfit. It was kind of good. I kind of became the bandana guy at my camp. which made it easier for my campers to find me, and also kind of became a little my trademark. I'm the guy with that bandana, and if you need a bandana for a blindfold or a team building game, you know who has them. And then another camp tip, this wouldn't be in my bag, but I would recommend, instead of a big old fluffy bath towel, get one of these ultra thin, ultra light camping backpacking towels. They're just as good, they dry a lot faster, and they're not going to get as gross, and they're just way easier to carry or tote around. Or yeah, light towels are great. And then final thing is, I would always have a watch on me. You got to be on time, got to be on schedule. This just has the date and the time. I recommend a waterproof one because you don't want to have to take it off every time you're about to go canoeing or in the pool or whatever. But make sure it's durable, make sure it fits you well, and this will never leave your wrist unless you're sleeping or whatever. So that's the basics. I would never have anything in my pockets. Basically, everything I needed would be in the bag here. And I hope this gave you some ideas of some things you should have on your person if you're going to be a camp counselor to help you be the best counselor you can be. My name is Jake, and thanks for watching.